My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our bets, we give you our picks, and we give you our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And this video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. It is the world's first play to earn sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. Next up at UFC 272, we have the main card opener. We've got Sergey Spivak taking on Greg Hardy in a grappler versus striker matchup. Sergey Spivak, 13-3 overall, 3-2 in his last five, coming off a TKO loss to Tom Aspinall. Greg Hardy, 7-4 overall, 2-3 in his last five, coming off back-to-back losses. Sergey Spivak is a heavyweight grappler who's a much better hammer than a nail, meaning when the fight gets tough and he's on the wrong side of some things, he doesn't dig deep, grit through it. He just sort of takes it, honestly. He has a great ground and pound game, though, with solid takedowns. He has an okay submission game, and he is a capable striker. He doesn't really have KO power, but he does have a decent jab and solid volume. Greg Hardy has had a rocky road in the UFC. He came in, he surprised a lot of people with some solid early wins, but when the level of competition improved, he did not. He's an incredibly athletic guy with amazing power. Don't forget, he played in the NFL for a while, so we're talking top 1% of athlete on the planet. He doesn't have much in the way of grappling. We've seen him lose a bunch of grappling fights before, but he is so strong and he's so athletic that he has somehow managed to put together an 80% takedown defense. He is coming off that loss to Tai Tuivasa, but again, if you're just a Tapology guy and you just look at Tapology and watch the fight, he had Tai Tuivasa almost dead to rights. He almost had that guy out, but Tai was able to grit through and then he knocked out Greg Hardy. But I mean, Derek Lewis couldn't do to Tai Tuivasa what Greg Hardy almost did and did do to Tai Tuivasa. That exact same punch on Spivak, and that's lights out for Spivak. This is a pretty cut and dry breakdown. Spivak will lose a striking match. He will dominate a grappling match. He absolutely needs to lean on his wrestling early. He needs to get it to the ground as soon as possible, not even play around the striking. And if I didn't just watch Spivak fight Alexei Oleinik however long ago, 2 fights ago, I would be like, Spivak, guaranteed, done, move on. But the reality is he had some trouble with Alexei Oleinik, like some real trouble with Alexei Oleinik in some of the grappling exchanges, in the striking. And if he's struggling to strike with Alexei Oleinik, Greg Hardy's going to put his lights out. The problem is the reason. So if I didn't see Spivak versus Alexei Oleinik, Spivak, giant favorite, the pick. But I did see that. So you might think I'm going, oh, well, then it's definitely Greg Hardy. The problem is Greg Hardy, once he gets to the ground, is straight up clueless. Straight up clueless. Getting him there is not the easiest thing to do because he's fast and athletic and strong. But once he's on the ground, has no idea what to do. So it's an interesting fight. It's tricky. The reality is Sergey Spivak did beat Tai Tuivasa. I'm not an MMA math person. I'm all about styles, making fights. But in that fight, he just shot, very often. And that's what he needs to do here. I think he knows that's what he needs to do here. I do think he will shoot very quickly. I think he'll get the takedowns. And as soon as they hit the ground, that's it. Greg Hardy's got nothing to offer. So I like Sergey Spivak to win. But man, is it going to be nerve-wracking on his feet? What do you think?
So I'm going to make a claim here that Greg Hardy is the William Knight of the heavyweight division. Honestly, William Knight might even be a heavyweight himself with that weight miss in the last fight. But both those guys they are what they are, right? They're very, very athletic. They have a ton of power. But when it comes to technique, both on the feet and especially on the ground, we've seen them struggle. And William Knight has an actual kind of wrestling background, where Hardy's more of just an athletic background. But it's kind of the same thing, right? They're always going to have athleticism. They're always going to have power. They're always going to be live for a knockout, especially early. I've already been looking at maybe playing like first round Greg Hardy play, first round knockout, because as you mentioned, we saw with Tai Tuivasa, we saw with anyone that Greg Hardy hits, they usually go out, right? Or they come close to going out. Sergey's not going to be any different. His chin's not any better than anyone else's. But it is bald Sergey. Sergey shaved his head. He looks incredible. He's ready for this fight. Get it to the ground. Just get it to the ground. I just get it to the ground. I wouldn't mess around. But Greg Hardy, he is what he is. He's always gonna have power. He's always gonna have athleticism. So if somebody wants to fade this and play the Greg Hardy side, I don't blame you. I think I've picked every single Greg Hardy fight wrong. Every time I pick him, he loses. Every time I pick against him, he wins. I'm picking against him. So if you have mortgages you need to pay out, maybe bet on Greg Hardy.
Yeah, I picked Tai Tuivasa against the guy, so I'm happy with that. But he's athletic and he's got power, so he can make things happen that he shouldn't be able to make happen. And he's got that decent takedown defense. The prices are interesting. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it in DraftKings. Like, I get it. Sergey Spivak should take him down, should stop him, and should be worth every penny of that $8,700. But man, he is so live to get knocked out on his feet that I'm not taking that risk. I'm just not going to risk that side of it. You agree?
Yeah, I'm not playing that. And even Monkey Knife Fight, I kind of like the less because I think if it goes to the ground, I think he's submitted fairly easily. And if he doesn't get to the ground, he's gonna be on his back looking at stars.
And I actually completely agree. I love the less here. 46 strikes. I'll have to look at Greg Hardy's fights. I don't know when the last time he threw 46 strikes was, especially against somebody who could take him down and finish him. You know what I mean? It's not like
and if he's landed that many, he doesn't need that many. If he lands 10 strikes, 2 of those are going to be knockout blows. So,
yeah, I love the less there. So get that going now before that line moves, because those lines do move with the money. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. Sign up, make a deposit. They will instantly match your deposit. Hit the less on this line before it moves. I imagine when I do my line setting video with Chris, this line would have moved. And if you want 50 free bucks, go ahead.
You can get under 1.5 at plus 130 for this fight.
I hate doing under 1.5s. I hate those bets. I just hate them. Anyway, if you want 50 free dollars, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. We are giving money away. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let me know after you do. I send you $50. It's literally all right there on the form. WeWantPicks.com/bets. You click, you sign up, you make a deposit. You give me your name and how you want to get paid, and I pay you. It's that simple. WeWantPicks.com/bets.
I put a unit on that, under 1.5.
Good luck.